The penultimate day of the Amgen Tour of California and the shortest day of just 79 miles, but undoubtedly the toughest as we get up into Mount Baldy, situated in the San Gabriel Mountains and only 12 miles north of Ontario, where the race made its start from. Everything would be about the last hour of the race.
Here's the early breakaway. Owen Duel, teammates with Johnny Moscone, starting the day third in the breakaway, along with Mikkel Zberg. Leonard Hofstede.
And a flat tyre early on for the race leader, TJ Van Garderen. A quick wheel change, the peloton are just ahead. No trouble getting back into the race. The sting in the tail lay up the road as they started the climb of Glendora Ridge.
Hofstede joined by Michael Storer on the attack from the breakaway. And Matteo Fabro for Katusha also in that break.
And then came an attack as we were getting onto the lower slopes of Mount Baldy, and this was Maximiliano Schockmann, and it was a shock because he went across the gap and joined the remnants of the breakaway and then set a tempo that looked to be one to take him to victory.
Straight past the breakaway and streaking towards the finish line as the remnants of the break caught by the chasers in the peloton. Johnny Moscone, the first of the GC men to have trouble on the last climb up to Mount Baldy. He was dropped a long way from the finish.
That was the first surprise, but everybody was struggling now as they tried to reel in Max Schockmann. This is the man now, the virtual leader of the race on the road, and then the yellow jersey himself. TJ Van Garderen cracked and was left.
TJ Van Garderen struggling on the final 3 kilometers to the finish. Finally, it was Tadej Pogačar able to catch Max Schockmann, joined by Sergio Higuita.
Pogačar started, but Richie Porte was the man who now launched an attack on the left of the picture here. The man who was worst placed of all the overall favourites of the race. But a quick counter move by Sergio Higuita, riding his first race in EF Education First Colours. He was on the move.
Tadej Pogačar going hard now, chasing Higuita, putting Richie Porte in trouble. Richie Porte losing his gears momentarily, was able to get going again, but not before this man opened up a big gap. Sergio Higuita chased by Tadej Pogačar in the last kilometer.
Only Pogačar could reach Higuita. 1 kilometre to go. George Bennett was making a desperate move to try and get across to the 2 young riders to try and steal the stage. Pogačar was now in the driving seat to become the next leader of the Tour as he wound his way to the summit.
That is Higuita winding up the sprint, but one last switchback before the finish line was his undoing. Going a little bit too hot in that corner, had to scrub lots of speed on the brakes, going far too wide. Pogačar, clear line up for the finish.
Pogačar looks over his shoulder just to make sure, steals it on the line. One of the youngest men in the race, just over 20 years of age. George Bennett crossing the line in 3rd place, and Richie Porte coming home in 4th. No sign of the yellow jersey yet, so it would change shoulders now. Tadej Pogačar was the next leader. We've seen that happen before on this climb. That last corner is crucial in a sprint. Andrew Talansky once profited by the same move. This time it was the youngster from Slovenia, Tadej Pogačar, who has threatened all week to do just this on top of Mount Baldy. A little while passed by before TJ Van Garderen came home under the escort of his 2 teammates, and a pat on the back for a big effort, but it wasn't good enough. Pogačar, same time on the day as Higuita, 5 seconds ahead of George Bennett, 10 over Richie Porte and 20 over Ricardo Zoidl from Austria. The young faces all smiles on top of the podium. A nice bottle of Lodi wine there for the winner. Too young to drink it, of course. Tadej Pogačar now the next lead of the Amgen Tour of California with 1 day to go, 16 seconds ahead of Higuita. It's all looking very, very tight now as we go down to Pasadena and complete a ride down there, which won't be anything like as hilly as it is. TJ Van Garderen down to 9th now from the hot seat. This man has that as he salutes the crowd. He can't wait for Pasadena. These are all of the leaders' jersey. The Lexus King of the Mountains won today on the left there by David Ballerini. The yellow and the white of Tag Heuer owned by Pogačar. The green by Asgreen, and the best rider there, Mikkel Bjork, getting the breakaway jersey today.